Hey, Dana, and welcome to my vlog. And this is Project Chevy. Well, I know, fourth hat on. And I've been working on the '02 Chevy off and on for probably going on 6 months now, because I just cannot figure out why it will not run. I've changed the ignition switch again, the crank sensor, cleaned and that's the crank sensor on the block, cleaned the crank sensor under the harmonic balancer, and also swapped out cam sensors. That really doesn't have anything to do with the ignition. It has to do with the fuel injection on that side. So I still do not have ignition, no spark. I don't have a anti-theft light blinking anymore. I swapped out ECMs, and I wound up with the anti-theft lights, and then I swapped them back, and then they went out. I have fuel, I got pressure, I just do not have spark, and I just can't. Originally, what my original problem was, it would start up, you drive it all day long. Man, you shut it down, it would take 3 or 4 hours for it to restart up. So I thought it was coils, so I changed the coils. And then when I first got it 3 years ago, the boy I got it from put $1,000 into troubleshooting through a shop, and he couldn't figure it out. They just could not figure it out, so he got rid of it, and I bought it from him. And within a week, I troubleshot it down to the rear on the block crank sensor. It was leaking and grounding out. Put a new one in, fired right up. And then it shut down again about 3 months later, and then I changed that again. It didn't happen. So then I changed the ignition switch with the ignition module, and it fired back up, and we were good to go. About a year and a half later, I let my daughter borrow it, and she drove it to work, and then she came home, stopped at the grocery store, and it wouldn't start. So she called me, I went, it started right up, but it had been 2 or 3 hours later. So the next day she did it again, and it wouldn't start. Well, again, then we found that, well, you drive it, and then you stop somewhere and try and start it, it won't start. For me, I just drive it to work, no problem in the morning, leave work 8 hours later, go home, get up again in the morning, start it up, go to work. So it had this lag time. So I got it back after she was driving it, and it was doing it to me. So then that's when I started working on it, and then finally it won't start at all. So I went back again, I swapped out those sensors again, still nothing happening. No check engine light. This is what's got, you say, why didn't you put a analyzer on it? There's no check engine light, and my analyzer says there's nothing wrong with the vehicle. I even went out and got one of those micro mechanic, stick it in there, and it's still, there's no indications. So everything is saying it's normal, but it's not. So one of my subscribers sent me a thank you for putting the video out there, and he supposedly had the same problem that I had, and he found a way to override it and get the vehicle to start. So today, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the exact same thing he just did, and we're going to find out if that's going to fix it. So stay tuned. I'm excited about trying this and see if it does it. Hey there, and welcome to my vlog. This is Project Chevy again. Sure, my lens is clean. And I'm back at working on the 02 Chevy Malibu again. It's been about 7 or 8 months of playing with this thing, and I just can't seem to get it to run. See, I've changed the ECM, and I've done changed the ignition switch again. I'm getting good reading out of the crank sensors, and I don't have a anti-theft light blinking. Just cannot get this thing to run since it shut down. So one of my subscribers was also troubleshooting his 02 Malibu, and he sent me acknowledgement that he had figured out his problem. So I'm going to try his solution and see if it won't start. Now, I haven't tried to start this in a while. I put took the battery out of it and charged it. Check my oil. Dipstick real quick here, huh? Yep, nice clean oil. Doesn't make a darn bit of difference if it ain't running. And I'm afraid it's been sitting now so long. It's been sitting about almost a year now since we got it back. Since I got it back, and finally it just would not start. So, and it's been sitting. I'm afraid the frame is now rotted out, and I'm not going to be able to get it back on the road anyway. But I still want to find out why this thing will not run. So, as you can see, my dash is clear. Almost. Working again. Okay, so let's get organized here. My wiper blades work. All right. Getting ready to put the dash back in this. I even tried to override the anti-theft on it. All that good stuff. I just cannot get it to run. So I'm going to try the subscriber's solution that he had. I don't have spark. That is my problem. I do not have spark. Back out. Get you back in there. Wow. Now I got a fuel leak. I smell it right under my seat. So that means I'm not going to get fuel pressure. Let's see if it starts. Wow. Wow. Holy cow. I got a fuel leak though. Holy cow. I don't believe this thing's been sitting for 4 months and it started up. I don't think anything's gonna move because everything's locked up. That rear wheel constantly locks up. I don't get it. Every time. Not good. Crazy. That wheel constantly locks up. Huh. But this is amazing. This is running. Oh. That wheel locked up. This is amazing. This thing is running. Unfortunately, I got a fuel leak. And this wheel has locked up again. This is the third time. I don't know why. It constantly does it. The other ones don't do it. It's always this late. Only thing is, the minute I shut this down, I bet it's not going to start again. So I got two issues. I got a fuel leak. And a stupid wheel that won't unlock. As you can see, it is running. I can't tell you why. And I'll bet you the minute I shut this down, it's not going to start again. Every time.